Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and douchebags. I'm Chains. Welcome to the Chains Project. Today's reading is of the very first cantankerous duo in history, Cain and Abel. Genesis chapter 4, verse 1 to 16. Cain murders Abel. Worst CSI episode ever. I already figured it out. Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel for his part brought of the firstlings of his flock, their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering. But for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. The Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is lurking at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it. Cain said to his brother Abel, Let us go out to the field. And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? Then the Lord said, What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it will no longer yield to you its strength. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Today you have driven me away from the soil, and I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who meets me may kill me. Then the Lord said to him, Not so. Whoever kills Cain will suffer a sevenfold vengeance. And the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who came upon him would kill him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. So basically what happens is, Adam and Eve have sex and they make Cain, and they either decide they want another kid or that sex is awesome and they make Abel. And then Abel decides that he wants to be a farmer because he likes sheep because they're pretty neat. And then Cain is just like, oh, I like plants. They're pretty plants. And then Cain brings an offering of cool fruit to God, and Abel brings an offering of some animal fat of stuff like that, and other neat things, and God says, well, Cain, you suck. Abel's awesome. And then Cain gets pissed off, and God's like, why you mad, brother? It's all cool. And then Cain decides, hey, Abel, we should go on a picnic. And then Abel's like, hell yeah, picnics are awesome. And then instead of the PB&J that Abel was expecting, it was some PB and murder. And then God's like, hey, Cain, where's your brother? He's good at making meat. And then Cain's like, I don't know. It's not my job. You're God. You're supposed to know everything. And then God's like, well, I do know because my friend the ground was like, dude, blood, it's gross. It's all over me. Cain did it. And then Cain's like, oh, well, whoopity-doodly-doo. And so God punishes him, saying he's never going to make any more stuff out of the ground. And then he sends him off to the land of Nod, saying that nobody will be able to kill him because they will reversely create the band avenged sevenfold. First things first, before you guys get all excited about this whole geographical location called the land of Nod, where everybody agrees with you, neither of those things are true. Everybody hates you, and the place doesn't exist. The word Nod is a root Hebrew word meaning to wander. It doesn't mean the land of wanderers, it just means to wander the land forever, so Cain better bring a good pair of shoes. Let's not forget, for the overall kill count of the Bible so far, this is the first one. Mark 1 up there on the chart for Cain. He's in the lead. Now we get to the good part of this really short segment of the Bible, is what exactly is going on. Why does Cain get extremely pissed off? Why does God say fruit sucks? I happen to think it's because a guy who created the universe couldn't do so without some good bacon. It's my theory. Tofu doesn't put you that far into the creating of things. So God says, it's not cool, I don't really like it, but that's not the really big deal. Most people try and they get out their calculators and they figure out, oh, well, both the offerings were important, something of value to God. Obviously, there's something wrong going on, I don't understand. But then again, we are kind of thinking like God's like us. In my opinion, God was just being a jerk this day. But does that matter in the story? No, the story is trying to say that no matter what, you're not supposed to question the big guy upstairs. That's his job, to not be questioned. So it doesn't matter, you could bring him some gold-plated stuff, and your buddy gives him a bag of dog poop that's on fire, and he could like that better. Doesn't mean you can go kill him. That's not okay. So is this a good thing, to be taught not to question even the highest up person ever? I completely disagree. You need to question things or you're never going to get anywhere. That's the problem. If we hadn't done this, we'd all still think that the Earth is the center of the universe, and that everything went around us. Kepler would have never had to prove himself wrong. It would have just been terrible. We would have never had awesome advances of things that are awesome if we hadn't decided to question, like, maybe we should stop licking the toads. Just because the cool guy does it doesn't make it a good idea. We need to question the cool guy, no matter how cool he could possibly be. That's right, Fonzie. I'm questioning you and your leather jacket jukeboxing punching abilities. So as you can probably tell, I am not a big fan of this story. This is the first one I'm not a huge fan of, just because it teaches something that I think is completely ridiculous. So if you think I should be a fan of it, or I'm completely taking this wrong, or I'm completely taking this right, and you just want to agree with me, because who doesn't? I'm amazing. Leave it down below, along with your hate, and those weird things where the words are a certain order. I think it's called a haiku. I don't know what those are for. I hear they're cool. And I was working on an outro, but I had to rewind some of my DVD collection because it was all out of order and they're starting at random places. We just don't want that. So until next time, I am Chains.